the way to do a lot of this stuff is to pick the big drivers first, understand them as best you can, and then get the next one, and then when you incorporate them, you get the next one, the next one. Sometimes the data comes first, sometimes the hypothesis comes first. And you refine the two back and forth. Like, you've got an idea, you go and test it, and then maybe it worked and it didn't.
It's like making an art.
Having hypotheses and starting points and not being able to capture variables, I think that is pretty much about the nature of human beings rather than the nature of science itself. So how can you capture something that goes beyond our understanding and control? We need to find a way of writing that down and codifying that so that it is possible for some people that have got a shared language to capture that. And science does it in a way, and dance and visual arts do it through different modalities. But yeah.
And how accessible that is to other people.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good question, because probably, I mean, a lot of people wouldn't understand that equation, I mean, me included, and then a lot of people wouldn't understand it, and a dance or an artwork. So I'm really interested in that question of coming across and how important it is. Yeah.
So what is the best way to convey it? Is there, the optimal way to convey it? What is a combination or?
Because like he's got a graph and he's explaining it, and often artists, or if you're going to see a dance, the program will have a synopsis, or the artwork will have something next to it saying this is what I'm doing, and I always would love to communicate without that, but maybe that's just necessary, that little sort of interpretation, and then you can dive much deeper into the work.
I'm very wary of seeking codification in any of the arts. And I think history's proven that it's a sure death to that art. I mean, it happened in classical ballet, it sort of happened to an extent with Laban, who developed Rudolf Laban codified dance movement, and it just kills the whole process. And that's the strength of the arts that the scientists seek, is our capacity to visualise our understanding, which is diverse. Like, each of you has a completely different, I know something going on in the head right now as we listen to Chris, and then if we were to embody that understanding in some art form, they would be completely different and they would appeal to different people. Whereas these
it would be a long way from this.
Very far away. The language used in science, including visual language, must conform to codification so that they can communicate in that level amongst themselves.
With accuracy.
Yeah, and there's the ability to have a relationship and be, against each other, that there's a common language that it can be measured upon.
To me, sounds like a lot of that symbiotic process going on between codification and the subject that you're studying or observing through that code.
It's interesting with the dance example, it said that the codification strangled life out. Here's some cases where the constraints of the rules actually allow you to create within that, and that those helped you do stuff because you weren't bombarded with all these thousands of things you could do, and then you could concentrate on the other parts because that mode of expression was fixed on.